I'm David Toman, author of Nootropics Expert and this YouTube channel. In this video, you'll discover the nootropic benefits of L-theanine. Now, this is an update to a video I made on L-theanine a few years ago. In this video, I'll tell you what L-theanine is, where it comes from, and why experienced neurohackers like using L-theanine. I'll share with you some clinical studies demonstrating the benefits of L-theanine. I'll tell you how much L-theanine to use, any potential side effects, and the best type of L-theanine to buy. So why would you want to listen to this video about L-theanine? Well, because L-theanine is really good for boosting alpha and theta brainwaves. It's anti-anxiety, it lowers cortisol, it boosts cognition, it improves memory, and it provides better quality sleep. Sound good? Now, before we get started, please hit the subscribe button for my channel. It doesn't cost you anything, but it helps YouTube know to suggest this channel to someone else who may need this information too. And hit the share button so that others can learn about L-theanine and how it may help them deal with their brain health issues. So stay with me for a few minutes and I'll tell you more about L-theanine. Let's get started. L-theanine is a non-dietary amino acid found in tea, and especially high levels in green tea, or Camellia sinensis. L-theanine was first isolated from green tea in Japan by Sakato in 1949. As an analog of glutamate and glutamine, it's hydrolyzed in your intestine and liver into l-glutamate and ethylamine, and easily crosses your blood-brain barrier. L-theanine is one of the very few nootropics known to modulate brain waves. It affects alpha brain waves, which are associated with relaxation, providing an alert calmness. L-theanine helps in promoting super learning, flow states, and joy. L-theanine boosts the neurotransmitters serotonin, dopamine, and GABA in your brain, as well as increasing brain-derived nootropic factor and nerve growth factor. L-theanine is known for helping to relieve stress, improve cognition, boost mood, and cognitive function. L-theanine boosts brain health and function in several ways, but two in particular stand out. First, L-theanine reduces physical and mental stress. L-theanine helps increase alpha brainwaves, which are associated with mental relaxation and concentration. One study in South Korea worked with 20 healthy male volunteers aged 18 to 30 years. One group was given L-theanine tablets and the other group a placebo for 7 days. Brain waves were measured 40 minutes after administration of the tablets. The researchers analyzed alpha brainwave power values and concluded that L-theanine tablets promoted the release of alpha brainwaves related to mental relaxation and concentration. In May 2016, researchers at Simon Fraser University in Canada developed a technology to clinically measure brainwave patterns. With this technology, we're now able to detect cognitive dysfunction before it happens. So imagine the implications of this new technology when applied to the nootropics world. And the second way L-theanine works in your brain is it increases neurotransmitters. Researchers show that L-theanine increases dopamine, serotonin, and GABA in your brain, and it reduces the excitatory neurotransmitter glutamate, which is associated with stress, tension, and agitation. A study done in Japan worked with 12 people who underwent 4 separate trials. One in which they took L-theanine at the start of the experiment, one in which they took it halfway through, and 2 control trials in which they took either a placebo or nothing. The results showed that L-theanine resulted in a reduction in heart rate, in salivary immunoglobulin A, which is associated with acute stress. The researchers concluded that L-theanine could cause anti-stress effects via the inhibition of cortical neuron excitation. In other words, a reduction in cortisol. L-theanine energizes without draining, calms without putting you to sleep, and it motivates without causing a jagged edge. Tea, as a source of L-theanine, can have as much caffeine as some coffees, and yet doesn't exert the same speedy effect. And the reason is the ingredient L-theanine. You can actually see L-theanine's effect in your brain using EEG. Brain waves are smoothed out rather than flattened out. So your body is relaxed, your mind is calmed, and you don't get sleepy. And L-theanine, once across the blood-brain barrier, raises levels of serotonin and dopamine. L-theanine even improves your quality of sleep. The researchers in Japan gave volunteers 200 milligrams of L-theanine daily and recorded their sleep patterns. Sleep quality, recovery from exhaustion, and feeling refreshed were all enhanced by L-theanine. And L-theanine puts you in a better mood. Once it crosses your blood-brain barrier, L-theanine changes levels of the amino acids affecting serotonin, dopamine, and GABA, having a modulating effect on mood. Your unique neurochemistry, including neurotransmitters, brain waves, brain structure, and even regional brain activity, will influence your response to L-theanine. Many neurohackers report a calming effect within 30 to 45 minutes of taking L-theanine. Cognition gets a boost and energy levels rise without the jitteriness caused by the stimulants like caffeine. Some report L-theanine has stopped their anxiety and panic attacks. Just don't combine it with anti-anxiety meds like Xanax. Most report an overall improvement in the sense of well-being and quality of life, and nearly all remark on better quality sleep. Research has found that if L-theanine is present in the body at the time a stroke occurs, brain damage will be significantly reduced. In this monstrous study done in China, researchers selected 14,212 subjects from 12 provinces. Ages range from 35 to 60 years old. The study looked at tea drinking status, dose, and type of teas. This study concluded that there was a 40% decreased risk of stroke in those who drank green, black, or jasmine tea. In this double-blind, placebo-controlled study, the effect of L-theanine on memory and attention was investigated. 91 subjects with mild cognitive impairment were enrolled in this study. One group received 1,680 milligrams of L-theanine daily for 16 weeks, and the control group received a placebo. The study concluded that L-theanine increased theta waves associated with cognitive alertness and creativity, and there were improvements in memory. The result of this study suggested that L-theanine has a potential as an intervention for cognitive improvement. And that is an understatement by any stretch. People spend years meditating, and with the goal of reaching consistent access to brain states like theta. In this trial, they did it with a dose of L-theanine, the same type of dose that you would get with a few cups of quality green tea. Considerable research has been dedicated to L-theanine and its benefits to stress reduction in both animal and human studies. And we have ample documentation that corticosterone and stress exert negative effects on memory. Corticosteroids, which are secreted after stress, have a profound effect on long-term potentiation and memory formation. In this animal study, rats were fed water containing L-theanine for 3 weeks and put through some stress-inducing exercise. The researchers found that corticosterone levels were lower in the rats who used L-theanine compared to those who had none. In fact, stress had no effect on the animals who were fed L-theanine. Memory was not affected. The researchers concluded that L-theanine modified corticosterone secretion, and L-theanine is a strong preventive measure in preventing memory loss otherwise induced by stress. The recommended dosage of L-theanine is 200 to 400 milligrams once or twice a day, with a maximum of 1,200 milligrams per day, according to the Cleveland Clinic. L-theanine is water-soluble, so you can take it with water. Labels on quality green tea often only display the amount of green tea leaf available in each bag in milligrams, but not its L-theanine content. Green tea that's steeped correctly will offer 1 to 2% of L-theanine per cup, so 1,500 milligrams of green tea leaf would be about 30 milligrams of L-theanine at 2%. Now, we often say that your mileage may vary, and this is especially applicable to L-theanine. Find out what works best for you. Start at a lower dose, like 100 milligrams, and work your way up until you achieve the effects you're looking for. L-theanine is a naturally occurring amino acid found in plants like tea or one species of mushroom, so it's considered non-toxic and very safe. L-theanine seems to decrease blood pressure, so if you're on meds for high blood pressure, use L-theanine with caution. Your blood pressure could go too low. L-theanine is available in green, black, and white teas. Green tea contains the most L-theanine. A great side benefit for neurohackers is green tea, which also contains caffeine. A cup of good quality green tea has less caffeine per cup than a cup of coffee, about 10 milligrams less. One study done at Unilever in the UK looked at the combined effects of L-theanine and caffeine on cognitive performance and mood. They compared 50 milligrams of caffeine with and without 100 milligrams of L-theanine. The research team had 27 volunteers participate and based measurements on word recognition, rapid visual information processing, critical flicker fusion threshold, and attention switching and mood. Performance was measured at the beginning and again 60 minutes and 90 minutes after consumption, separated by a 7-day washout period. Caffeine improved alertness at 60 minutes and accuracy on attention switching at 90 minutes. The L-theanine and caffeine combination improved both speed and accuracy and reduced susceptibility to distracting information on the memory task. The research team concluded L-theanine and caffeine in combination are beneficial for improving performance on cognitively demanding tasks. And for an added bonus, L-theanine takes the jittery edge off of caffeine consumption. Extracting the optimal amount of L-theanine from green tea is both an art and a science. Researchers at University of Newcastle in Australia set out to determine the optimal conditions for water extraction of L-theanine from green tea. They examined 4 different extraction methods and learned that temperature, extraction time, ratio of water to tea, and tea particle size had significant impacts on extraction yield of L-theanine from green tea, and they concluded the optimal conditions for extracting theanine from green tea using water were found to be extracted at 80 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes with a water to tea ratio of 20:1 milliliters to gram and a tea particle size of 0.5 to 1 millimeter. So to get the most nootropic value when using green tea as your L-theanine source, follow the directions. Just saying. L-theanine is available in capsule or tablet form from several supplement manufacturers. Japanese company Taiyo is the oldest and most established company in the green tea supplement industry. Taiyo developed and patented a method for L-theanine extraction from green tea, and they called it suntheanine. Suntheanine is included as an L-theanine source from several large supplement makers. And if it has suntheanine on the label, you are assured that the amount of L-theanine listed is the actual amount in each capsule. Research has shown that some supplement makers use their own extracted method for L-theanine, and it contains more than just the L form of theanine. It turns out if it's not done exactly right, you end up with the D form of theanine. D-theanine may have a very different action in your body from L-theanine. I'm not saying it's dangerous. You just may not get all of the benefits of pure L-theanine. So read the labels and reviews by people who have tried the product, and with a little experimentation, you'll find an L-theanine supplement that works for you. So that's my report on L-theanine. If you want to see links to the studies I talked about, go to Nootropics Expert, my website, and search for L-theanine. Or click on the link below in the notes section of this video. Once you're at my website, Nootropics Expert, you'll find a full transcript for this video, and you'll find dozens of articles on all the well-known nootropics on Nootropics Expert. If you haven't already, download your free copy of Secrets of the Optimized Brain. It's nearly 100 pages and contains details on 92 of the most popular nootropics used today. And my 4-time award-winning book, the second edition of Head First, The Complete Guide to Healing and Optimizing Your Brain with Nootropic Supplements, is now available. Head First, the second edition, is 962 pages and is available in hardcover, paperback, or for iPad or Kindle. You can get your copy at any major bookseller, including Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Balboa Press, Apple Books, Walmart, and others. You will find a link to these stores down below in the notes section of this video. And did I mention Head First won 4 awards? You really need to get a copy if you haven't already. Head First is available worldwide. And if you could use some personal help choosing the right nootropics or finding out how to deal with your own brain health issues, consider booking a personal consultation with me. You'll find a link to my calendar below in the notes section below this video. If you want to see more videos on all the best nootropics used today, subscribe to this channel before you leave. I'll be putting up new videos on nootropics and optimizing your brain every week. I'm David Tillman, author of Nootropics Expert.